Okay, so once you get your strand all unwrapped and untangled, you'll see that it has two different types of fittings. You'll have a male and a female. And now, once your holes are drilled, we'll just start running the strand. So I like to keep, going back a second, half of your panels will be strung one way and then half of your panels will be strung the other way. I'm going to show you one of each, and then you just have to remember how you did each one, and then you just do half and half. So this will be the first one. So half of your panels will be strung this way. So for one of my panels, I do the male on the top left, and you want to just pull a little bit of slack out and then you just leave it there. And then you want to get to the other end of your strand, and then it's going to run up on the inside of your top rail. So then the next part needs to go through the other elbow. All right. Pull the slack out. It doesn't have to be tight yet. So it goes through on the inside of your rail and then through the elbow, and then it'll be on the back side, and then you're just going to want to take your strand and start going down to the next level. So we're going to start putting it in here. This doesn't have to be exact. It might take you a little bit to fish through and get it in there, but you'll get it. And then, so you go down on that side, and then you go through the middle rail here. And back out on this side. And pull your slack through. And then you're going to go down to the legs. Helps to kind of watch the other hole to see where it is. And then pull your slack, and then go to the next leg. Alright, and then get that through, and then you'll see this, you kind of have a lot of slack on either end, and we give you a little extra just in case something happens to your fitting here on the end. You can cut it off and we can just send you a new one so you can fix it, so you don't have to get a whole new thing. So you want to go back to the top, and you kind of want to make sure the slack on either end is about the same. So I feel like that side had a little bit more slack, so just pull it out, and then what you're going to do is you just start wrapping it around your elbow here just a couple times, and then you're going to take the end piece and then just kind of tie it to itself. So you'll have like a little bit sticking out here. It's good to have a little slack because then you're going to connect this side to your other panel, but you'll just leave it there for now. It's not an exact science or anything special, you just tie it on. And then you want to just run along your strands here and just pull it tight. You just want to pull the slack out. You don't want it to be sagging. So you just pull the slack through. And you see how you can make it pretty tight. Alright, whoop. Alright, and then, so you have all your strands are pulled tight, and then you just do the same thing. So one end might be a little longer. This one you can see is a lot longer than that side. Like I said, you kind of want to make sure both sides are about the same, but if one end's a little bit longer, it's not a big deal. You'll just have to wrap around a few more times. So this one was pretty long. I don't want this part to be super long. I don't want it to be dragging on the ground, and I don't want you to trip over it or anything like that. So just wrap it around a few times and then just tie it. Same way, just tie it on, and then so half of your panels are going to be like this. So the top left has the male electrical fitting, and then the bottom right will have the female. So half of your panels will be like this, and then the next one I'll show you is how the other half of your panels will be. So we're going to be doing the second panel. This is how your second half of your panels will look. So you want to get another roll of electrical strand, and you just want to start on wrapping it. So if you remember, the other one had the male on the top left and the female on the bottom right. So this panel will have to connect to that panel. So that means the female will have to be on the top right so it can connect to the male on the top left of your other panel. So we just do it exactly how we did it before. Start on the right side with the female fitting. Kind of have to see where it's going. Sometimes it can get a little bent, so you might want to just straighten it out a bit and try again. It's almost there. Okay, there we go. Pull this through, pull some slack, and just let it hang out there for a bit until you're done. Alright, and then this is like the other one, it's going to run along the inside of the top rail. And then just start feeding it through the other holes. So you want to go from that elbow to your other elbow. You can see this does get tangled a little bit. Okay. Just pull your slack through. It doesn't have to be super tight right now. So you can see it's kind of falling out that side. So I want to leave a little extra just so it doesn't come back through, because that's annoying. Alright, and then from this elbow you're going to come back to the outside of your rail and start feeding it through the middle. Alright, this one, pull your slack. Alright, to the next one. Pull the slack and then come down to the leg. And then we have our next one. And like the other one, this is kind of a lot of slack. So if you want to come over here and even it out a little bit, you can. Pull it back through a little bit just so you have a little bit more. Alright, and then like the other one, you just pull it tight and then start wrapping it around the elbow here. So probably 2 or 3 wraps should be enough. And then you just want to kind of tie this one back into the bottom one and just pull it tight. And there you have your first tie. And then you just want to go through and pull the slack out. So you just pull it tight here and run it through, pulling all your slack out. So you want to make sure your strands are tight. They have some tension, they're not sagging. Alright, and now you have all 3 strands. Make sure they're tight. And then, again, we'll just start wrapping this. Your bottom pieces might be a little longer, so you might have to do 4 or 5 wraps before you tie it. I'll do one more. Just tie it back to itself. Make sure it's tight. And here's your other piece. And then, so half your panels will have the female on the top right with the male on the left bottom. And then your other one should look like this. So now, as you can see, if you want to come up closer. So now, these are gonna go into each other. And that's how you'll do all of them. So every other of your panels will be different. So that one has the male on the bottom, and then this one has the female on the bottom. So they have one connection point on either side of the panels, and that's how you do it.